Hey guys, Hamo back again. Welcome to day 10 in the life for the Galaxy Z Fold 5. Today I'm going to do a ranking system. I got this inspiration from MKBHD's video. I tweaked the ranking a little bit, but I decided to play around with it and stay tuned to the end of my video to see the final grade of what I came up with. So I based my rankings on 8 different categories. It is cool factor, customization, features, apps, updates, ease of use, ecosystem, and value. And each one of these will have a total score of 5. And I'm just going to go through each category and rank it. Then at the end, I'm going to total everything up and give it a whole score based on this phone. So currently I am recording this video using the Galaxy Z Fold 5. The main camera, I have it sitting on my laptop, propped on a table, the camera up at me, and just recording from there. And the issue with doing this, and you'll see first I had to turn the phone around, put it in the tent mode, hit record, and then spin the phone back again to start recording. And in the process of spinning the phone, you have to be careful not to touch any of the settings because you might stop recording or you might focus on an area by accident. So it's kind of a weird process. I think as a future update, it would be nice if they have some smaller preview screen or something underneath the camera bar so you can actually use the main camera similar to the Galaxy Z Flip 5. They have the preview screen here and you can only use the preview screen if you actually open up the phone like a tablet and hold it up. Otherwise, if you have it docking on the table, it's just going to be sitting flat, and I guess it still serves as a tripod. You don't need to put it on a tripod, but at the end of the day, it's just a tad less practical. But anyway, so that's my current setup. So let's just go to the categories. First one I have on the list is the cool factor. This one I gave it a score of 5 out of 5. So yeah, at the end of the day, this is one of the coolest phones you can get out there. You get tired of just looking at using the same rectangular phone that is boring, same iPhone every single year with what more features and Galaxy pixels. Folding phone is the way to go. You literally have a tablet in your pocket whenever you want, so it doesn't get any cooler than that. Next on the list is customization. So this is also a 5 out of 5 category for me. And this is just with Android phones in general. And Samsung in particular, they have more customization compared to the stock Google Pixel. Some people prefer the stock Android experience with everything minimal and simple. I actually like all the old and cool features, bloatware, whatever you want to call it. On the Samsung side of the house, you can pretty much customize anything from widgets, icons, fonts, settings, themes. So Android phone, you can pretty much customize anything to your heart's content. So that is an easy 5 out of 5 for me. Next on the list is features, which is also a 5 out of 5. Some people argue customization and features may be the same thing. I think it might be 2 different buckets. Customization, I think of it as tinkering with the phones and moving settings and things around on the Apple ecosystem. The icons are pretty much set linear. You can't really drag the widget wherever you want. Here, you can make the widget bigger, smaller. But feature-wise, it's actually things that you would use on the phone that differentiate from other phones. So, for example, this Galaxy Z Fold 5, you can turn into a tablet. You can't do that with a lot of phones. You have one of the best cameras that a smartphone has to offer. You get the newest chip, the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, and the Android space that is tuned for Samsung. You get DeX support, so you want to connect your phone to a computer, use it as a desktop. You can do that wirelessly, or you can connect it with a cable. And even Apple and Google don't have any desktop support today, so that is an extra feature that Samsung has to offer. You get the S Pen support, the best thing. You can feel free to. You have to buy a separate accessory though. It would have been nice to see them jam the pen into this phone. Although I would argue I won't really use it that much, but it's nice to have. So if you're into drawing, writing, being creative, S Pen is an option. You can multitask your heart's content, multi-window. You can launch 3 apps at once. You can have floating icons. There's so many features built into the Galaxy Z Fold 5. You may not necessarily use them all, but they are available. It is basically a built-in tripod, so if you don't hold a tripod, you don't want to carry one around, you can dock this phone anywhere and start recording, just like what I'm doing right now. And even in the camera option itself, it has so many features built in, like the director's mode, where you can use the main camera and the selfie camera at the same time. I know most people may not use that, but I actually find it to be pretty helpful because I make a lot of videos like these. And they got the single take mode. You can just record a 10-second clip and it will generate a bunch of photos, videos, short clips. They'll throw in some music for you. They'll make you a little TikTok thing. So if you can't decide, you want to take a picture or photo or Snapchat, just do single take. And it gives you a bunch of different options, recommending the best photos and video for you guys. So little things like that, it adds up, and it's just so many cool features on Samsung phone. It all depends if you want to use them or not. You just have to play around with it, and then you look for it, you find it. So the next category is apps. I actually gave this a 4 out of 5. Samsung have their own app store. They have the Play Store as well. Play Store have more apps than the Apple Store, but the Apple Store have more quality apps. Just hands down general iPhone apps, which is more polished. So I just deducted a point from Samsung in this case, just because all the apps are not optimized on the larger screen. If you're paying $1,800 for a phone, you expect everything to be more polished, but not all the apps work well. Some apps you see black bars, some apps just take a portion of your screen. You can manually force it to full screen, but some of the mapping might be off. For example, you play Pokemon Go, everything looks zoomed in, and little things like that. It's just not very optimized for the inner display, but for the apps that are optimized, like YouTube and certain games, we can get it to work, that'll be fine. So let's just subtract that point just because not everything works 100% the way you expect it to. After that, it is updates. So for updates, I give it a 4 out of 5. Samsung is offering 4 years of software support and 5 years of security support, which is the best that Android has to offer, by the way. It's even more than Google, even though Google owns Android. But I deducted that point because Apple is superior just in terms of software support. They generally support their phone anywhere from 6 to 8 years, not that month. I guess it depends on your lifestyle and how long you use your phone. I personally don't use my phone for that long, but I can see the case for people that do. You buy a phone, you want to have peace of mind that's going to last you for a while, and you buy like an iPhone 10 or 11 today, you can basically use it and get the same software support that even the iPhone 14 or 15 has today, which is really cool. And if you want a phone to pass it on to your mom or your kids, Apple is generally the better choice because the support is so long. I guess in theory, you can pass any Android phone to anybody you want, but if the software security updates no longer support it, you're always at risk to be hacked, I guess depending on what you do and things like that. It's just updates and software support. Apple still have the edge, although Samsung is the best that Android has to offer. Next on our list is ease of use. I gave Samsung a 4 out of 5. I guess it all depends on your background and technical ability. For me, it's easily a 5 out of 5. I deducted points just simply because I live in the US and majority of people use this iPhone. And you see so many articles these days that iPhones are slowly taking over the run with these just growing so much faster. More people are adopting over to iPhones. And yeah, they're just slowly taking over. And just a simple story, like here in the US, anybody can use an iPhone, an old person, a young person. My mom's friends know how to use an iPhone. They teach each other how to use iPhones, FaceTime. Everything is intuitive. But once you hand them an Android phone, they just kind of freeze and don't know what to do. They don't know where the setting are. There's just so many features and options. They just don't know how to move and navigate. But for some reason with an iPhone, it's just very simple and intuitive that anybody can use it. And I can't say it's the same thing for a Samsung phone. So let's subtract that point there. And then next on the list, we got the ecosystem. Ecosystem, I also subtracted a point from Samsung for a similar reason. You can argue Samsung offer pretty much the same product as Apple, but the ecosystem is just as good. They have a phone, they got a laptop, they got Galaxy Buds. Basically, everything is just as robust as Apple. But the only problem is Apple just have more people deep into the ecosystem. For example, you look at the smartphone sales in 2022, Apple pretty much dominate the top 10 with all the smartphones. They got 8 of the 10 smartphones sold in the world. Samsung managed to squeeze in with a couple of the A series. But what this tells me is that more people actually buy premium Apple products. For example, you can afford the iPhone 13 Pro Max or 14 Pro Max, you're more likely to get a Mac, AirPods, and buy more things that are deep into the ecosystem. Compared to Samsung, it looks like out of the top 10, only 2 of them are the Galaxy A series, which is a budget phone. If you're buying the budget phone, you're unlikely going to be that deep into the ecosystem and buy more products. So that is just my personal take. So if you can afford the Max, you can afford more products, but if you're budget conscious to begin with, you're unlikely to be deep into the ecosystem. And as a result, if more people are deep into the ecosystem, and it's harder to get out. That's why in the US, you see the debate bigger with green bubbles and blue bubbles. And like it or not, if you're an Android user, you do get outcast a little bit depending on the groups or depending on people. People are going to believe what they believe in, and no matter what you say, it's not really going to change their mind. This is an $1,800 phone, but in the eye of some Apple user, they just see it as an Android phone, and they're just not going to get it. Just because they're deep into the ecosystem, they got their blue bubbles, all their stuff works together really well. And even though Samsung offer all similar products, but you don't have a lot of people on it, so the ecosystem is not as strong. So I deducted a point just from that perspective. And the last category I have is value. This is just looking at the price alone. It is $1,800 for a folding phone. I personally gave it a 3 because I don't think it is a good value. It is a cool idea to have a tablet in your pocket. I guess I can make a case to subtract this even more, but I was getting a little generous here in my opinion. I just don't think any phone is worth $1,800. And in this case, the more you pay for a phone, you actually get less. You don't get the best camera because the best camera from Samsung is in the S23 Ultra. You don't necessarily have the best battery life either. There are a bunch of other gaming phones out there that are less than $1,800 that will get you better battery life. And performance-wise, I guess you do have the latest chip, but just in general, you are actually paying more and you get less. It has it has water resistant, but it doesn't have dust resistant. And any standard candy bar shaped smartphone out there that's the flagship phone does have water resistance. So little things like that. They don't have all the best features that it's available. This is paying for the novelty factor and the ability to have a tablet in the pocket. So from a value perspective, I don't think it is worth the $1,800. So if you tally all these scores up, you get 34 out of 40, which is a solid 85% grade or a D. Alright, there you guys have it. This concludes my ranking system of the Galaxy Z Fold 5. Let me know what your thoughts are on Galaxy Z Fold 5. If you have your own ranking system, just let me know and what you think about my thoughts overall. Let me know you're going to be getting the Galaxy Z Fold 5, or if you already have it, what your experience has been so far. Thank you for watching. Please check out my other daily vlogs if you haven't already. Remember to like and subscribe, and see you guys in the next video.